there, art stars. Would you like to learn a very rare but highly effective way of drawing that will improve your art instantly? Good, because that's what I'm about to show you. They don't teach it in art class. You may have never even heard of it, but I'm going to teach it to you right now. Let's go to the drawing board.
Okay gang, here we are at the drawing table, and what I'm going to show you today is something called the point system. And here's how you do it. You need 4 things: a pencil, a piece of paper, a reference image, and a ruler. If you can read a ruler, you can master this method pretty quickly. Now, it doesn't matter what image you use, but it helps if your reference image is the same size as your drawing paper. So I got, a little picture of Mickey Mouse here, and he's 5 by 7, and then my drawing paper is the same size. All right, so it works like this. Let's try to draw Mickey's head. And if I take my ruler and I measure right to the widest part of Mickey's face. So I can even make a dot here, and then I'm going to have to mark the widest part on the other side of his face, so I'm going to make a mark here. So if I measure in here, and I look, it's 1 inch and 1, 2, 3 eighths. So 1 inch and 3 eighths, and I'm just going to mark that on my paper, kind of like a cheat sheet. Then I'm going to come back up here, and I'm going to measure to the other point, and it's basically 3 7/16. You can make it 3.5 if you want. But I'm pretty good at a ruler, so I'm going to do that. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take these 2 measurements for his head, and we're going to transfer them to our paper over here. So all I'm going to do is put that beginning mark on the edge of my paper, and I'm going to come in the same way and go in 1 and 1, 2, 3 eighths of an inch, and just make a little dot. Now, keep yours nice and light and loose so it's easy to erase. I'm going to make mine a little darker so it's easier for you to see. And now I'm just going to slide up a little bit, because if you look at Mickey's head, it's kind of tilted a little bit, all right? So I want to try to get that same tilt. So I'm just going to come up a little bit for reference and go in 3 7/16. So 3 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines, and I'm going to make another dot right there, okay? Now we're going to do the same thing with the top and bottom of his head, so we get that right too. So let's go to the top. Okay, now that might not look much to you right now, but what we're going to do from here is we're just going to start freehanding it in. So very lightly and loosely with your pencil. Mickey's got his head is mostly round, well, maybe a little oval shaped, and I'm just going to start shaping in some of the things that we see here on Mickey's head. Because where his mouth is, it sticks out again, but I don't want my line, this is the outside line. Remember how I said part of this is freehand, so we're just going to start roughing in the shapes and seeing how close we can get to it. Now this will give you a better likeness. If you're doing portraits, it's fantastic because you get the proportions right, which is the biggest thing that people get wrong in portraits, is getting the proportions right. All right, now we got something here and it's starting to look like something. So we're going to do a couple of other measurements, but this is how you do it, guys. You just measure in, get to shapes, make your points, and transfer them to here. So I'm going to go to his ear, we'll do one ear, and there's a point there, there's a point, there's a point, and there's another point. And you can really go crazy if you want. You can measure points all the way around it, transfer it to that, and you get the ear shape perfect. I don't like to do that. I've been drawing for a long time, 40 some years, and I don't have to do that anymore just because of repetition. And the more you repeat something, the better you get at it. So let me just measure these real quick. Okay, now you can look at this now and look at the 2 drawings that you have. So here's his ear is a little more rounded at the top and a little wider here. So I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to make it a little wider here. Round it back down to here a little bit. Okay, and I can see it's a little wider out here because it attaches to the head, of course. So I'm going to widen that out. And your whole drawing is going to look like this. It's going to look loose. It's going to look scratchy and rough. Now if you want to, you got one ear, so you've had a little practice with that. You can even try the next ear. And you can even just eyeball it from here.
Where no one's left out, dressed in our finest, walking the walk.
Okay, that looks pretty good. Now from here I'm going to speed everything up just so you can see what I'm doing, but you get the gist of what's going on here. And I'll come back to you and we'll talk about this for a minute after I'm done. Okay, see you on the other side.
Let's stand together, put a smile on our faces, fill us up with your grace.
Okay, Art Stars, we are back. Now you can see by my speed drawing here that I would go in between making measurements, and look at this thing. And you can do that too. So what you want to do then is once you get all this scratchy, sketchy stuff on paper, now you just want to kind of take a look at it and see, is there anywhere I can tweak it? And I can see here that the nose needs to be a little more round. And I need to clean up some of these pencil marks. And if I was just doing that in pencil, I would take some time and do that. But for cartooning, especially the way I like to do it, I'm going to trace everything in black pen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a minute and I'm going to go over every line I want to keep. Now you can see like I got a little line here. I don't want to keep that, so I'm not going to trace it. So all I want to do is trace over the lines that I'm going to keep. And when that dries, I'm going to take an eraser and erase all of the pencil. There you have it, Art Stars, our finished drawing.
Hooray!
Now from here, you can, color this in, shade it, use colored pencil, and turn it into something really cool, like this. How about that, Art Stars? That's what you can do when you practice and master this method. And it takes a little time, it takes a little bit of practice, but look at the results.
So what did you think? Let me know down in the comments, and if you have any questions, also put them down there. I'll be glad to answer them for you. And if you like videos like this and you want to keep learning more insider tips and tricks, please subscribe, do the likey, share it with your friends, and we can all hang out together next time. Until then, God bless. We done? Good. Let's go get coffee.